The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once more, do we go into the breach, dear friends. As always, we like to come to you at this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
Well, we're up 12 points on the S&P cash, but put away your party horns. That's because there's no juice behind this move, just like there was no juice to the lower side, except there's even lower volume today. We don't even have 1.5 billion shares in the NYSE as we start the show. And I was about half ready just to pipe in the traffic news and weather for all those folks headed up to the Hamptons. It's been one of these things where it used to be Fridays that they used to leave. Then it became Thursdays. Now I think it's like Tuesday at the close that they're already headed up to Hamptons for the last big hurrah. And they leave the B team in. That was kind of the last big move, I suspect, of the week to the downside. Now we have, a 0.5% higher in the S&P cash. I'm not going to write home about it. I was hoping that we'd get a really big move, and of course it went the other way yesterday, which kind of puts a lid on the upside. And unfortunately, what you're going to have now, if this is Wednesday, is you're going to have a day where we may have less than 1 billion shares going in to the 2 o'clock hour on Friday. And that you just really, you don't want to be short a quiet market, but you don't want to be long a market with no volume either. One, there isn't much upside to have. And in fact, I said that in the newsletter this morning. It makes me feel like I'm picking up coins in front of a steamroller, not even dollar bills, just loose change. And to me, I've always missed in the past some of the biggest moves because I was so busy trying to make a few dollars today, like I was working for an hourly wage. Well, if you made money, that's great. For me, I know I'm out of here. This is my last show for this week. I will be back on Wednesday, the winds permitting, since we're going sailing, but I think we'll be back. Not going to be that far away from the market any time anymore. Can pretty much go down the coast all the way and out to the Keys without ever losing cell coverage. And of course, with a phone anymore, you can always see the quotes. So not a lot happening out here that I'm not going to be aware of. But we'll be casting off at about 6:45 in the morning and going down there tonight, load up the boat, get everybody on board. 10 animals on a giant monster of a catamaran that makes some huge speeds for a sailboat. Going to go down to Marathon Island tomorrow night, wing by and out to the Marquesas, and then the little island beyond, if anybody knows that area, and then come back, get a drink at the Hog's Breath, and make a run right back up here, probably on Monday, back to Tampa. Anyway, going to have a good time. Not going to be that far away. Get a little rest on Tuesday and be back here on Thursday is the plan. Well-deserved vacation at end of the summer. But, man, when we get back, I think on Thursday next week, we've got a bit of holding our breath even then. Draghi's got some big announcements Thursday morning at 8:30, a handful of earnings calls, but it's when you get no volume, it's not any good for bulls or bears. It's good for a lot of flat markets. And the downside is if you're on the wrong side of these markets and there's no volume, they can move rather quickly against you. And to me, a coin flip is not trading. It is gambling. So I'm going to wait until, kind of like Maverick, I'm going to kind of circle around, wait until those miserable Ruskies are in my sights, and then shoot a few missiles at them. So anyway, what do we got right now? We've got a nice day. We're up a couple points. If you made some money, that's great. For me, there's probably a lot more money coming if I have my head clear, and I could still make trades this week. The question would be whether or not there's anything to trade or not. 1.5 billion shares, again, nothing to write home about. No party hats, no checkered tablecloths, no lemonade, no picnics, just very, very light volume, so watch it. What else do we have going back? Okay, well, we got enough time. I think we can talk about a little bit of history.
Then it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
Continuing with the nuclear theme, 2 months after signing an agreement to establish a 24-hour-a-day hotline between Moscow and Washington, the system goes into effect. The hotline was supposed to help speed communications between the governments of the United States and Soviet Union and help prevent the possibility of an accidental war. The hotline was never really necessary to prevent the war between the Soviet Union and the United States and was never used, but did provide a useful prop for movies about nuclear disaster such as Failsafe and Dr. Strangelove. And man, I haven't seen that in a year. I think I got to go back and watch it. Failsafe was just a little creepy. Dr. Strangelove, still fun. Still very fun. Anyway, on this day in 1963, a little bit. So there's a few other things we want to talk about. Do I have enough time? Well, we'll start right now. And the first part is that we've got kind of a little bit of financial incest going on here between two people that you haven't heard merging. Not real merging, but just kind of talking about that stuff. Collaboration, better word. Microsoft and Amazon getting together and taking the best features of Cortana and Alexa and putting them together. Since Amazon really doesn't have the backside like a Google, it makes excellent sense for these two companies to come together. They are frenemies. But what can you say? Cortana has much better voice recognition than Alexa and Amazon. What they don't have is a great piece of hardware and those great those great microphones in the Alexa. Nor are they probably going to be successful trying to push one out into people's living rooms. But from now on, that's it. And if you didn't know, it was a deep, dark secret. But these guys have been working together on this, and you've been using Cortana already, even if you didn't know it, if you were using an Alexa. They've been doing this for almost 2 years now. We'll be back after this.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And yet, well, I'm not sure what that was. Anyway, and of course, kind of be interesting that you can go and pull up Word documents from Alexa, ask it about things on your calendar, get phone numbers from the contact list that you have in Outlook. Going to be kind of interesting. I had another question today, and I thought I'd answer it on air. You can always email me at path@tfnn.com. Can I say it? path@tfnn.com, he said. I had somebody ask me yesterday night about do CEOs have to stay in their published sell programs? If you didn't or you missed it, the CEO of Apple has sold a huge amount of shares. And for the most part, these guys set up a document with their attorneys that says that they'll sell every time we hit a new high or, every quarter or something like that. Now, the question is whether or not going into this new phone that the CEO of Apple was blowing out huge amounts of shares, and was he doing it because he thinks this is the top, or was he doing it because this was a published sell program? Well, we have to go to the people that truly know, and that's the Pirates of the Caribbean.
The code is more what you call guidelines than actual rules.
That's right. They are more guidelines than actual rules. And the thing is, you can get sued as a CEO if you sell and everything starts to tank. But these published sell programs that they say that are going on, there's their own lawyers put these things together. It's not like the lawyers from the SEC came down and said, hey, we got to have this thing. We need to have it ironclad. These things are literal Swiss cheeses with enough holes to get out of any way you want to. So these things are basically CYA deals so that the CEOs can sell and buy new houses and new jets and everything else, which I don't have any problem against, unless they're dumping because they have some kind of insight that the stock is going much lower. My thought is a couple things. One, you never know what the restrictions were on the options that these guys get. It's a kind of a murky black hole, and you can't read a lot into it other than if he really thought it was going $50 more a share higher in the next quarter, he probably would have laid off selling. So the only thing you know for sure is, one, that he doesn't think it's rapidly going higher. It may go a little higher, but you get $500 or $600 million, you kind of have to bank a little of it if you're not a complete moron. But very unclear about what's going to happen. I do think that this particular CEO from Apple is probably getting fairly long in the tooth. They've lost a lot of people in Wall Street. There's those murmurs that start to happen. I heard them around Microsoft with their former CEO, and you never know how, if it reaches the level of getting tossed out. It certainly did before Satya Nadella, which is their current CEO. The previous one was a CFO, and I never really understood why he got to run the company, other than I think the founder was worried that he wouldn't get any of his money out. You never know. Anyway, so Apple guidelines, well...
The code is more what you'd call guidelines than actual rules.
See, and that's pretty much what you can say about those. Like I said, you can pretty much do anything you want with them. If you're a CEO, you still can get sued if someone can say that you knew something about it and was selling in front of it. But other than that, it's just a good excuse. And it's a little armor for those people getting ready to sue companies as they do ad nauseum. Again, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can also, what else? Oh, email me at path@tfnn.com and call me at, well, you can already call me. And what else? I think that's it. So what do we have? Well, we're up 13 points. Volume is 1.5 billion shares. If this was any other day than going into a 3-day weekend, I would be shorting left and right with this kind of volume. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I know it's not, and I've gone to this rodeo a few times, so it's nothing new. It's not uncommon to see these things head higher. I was looking for something like about 2465. We're probably fairly close to that. Look for trading ranges within 5, maybe 6 S&P points over the next 2 days, and I think that's about it. The downside is if anything would start to bubble up in geopolitical events, but I think we can kind of say that the worst is over for Houston and Texas. And now what are we going to do? It's all about the cleanup, maybe some selling coming in as these insurance companies sell part of their portfolios to put out what's going to probably be some fairly decent payouts. The courts in Texas have been fairly lenient to the policyholders. And these policies are written, especially the ones in Texas, from what I hear, have been written pretty much in a truly weasel way. I always like that Stephen Wright thing. He said 99% of lawyers give the others a bad name. Well, a lot of these things are written in a way that they can get out from paying, depending on what they want to do. But my guess is that the courts have taken a dim view of that in Texas. So a lot of these insurance companies are going to have some big payoffs. There are probably going to be some fairly decent lawsuits. They will probably sail through the courts in Texas. So the chances of these guys weaseling out of a lot of the money for these policies are probably going to be a little bit tough. So what else do we have in that vein? Well, you get the first little hit. They get to raise the rates, the insurance companies. But more important to us, unless you're actually investing in the insurance companies, is them selling those shares to raise money to pay off the claims. And I think we were talking about it, last week? And that is, Allstate has a huge footprint in the Texas, New Orleans area. Down here, it's in Florida, it's a little different one. But what do we got here? We're just about ready to go to break. Anyway, we're up 12 points in the S&P cash, up almost 70 points in the NASDAQ. I think too many people got short that in the last few days. So we're getting our little bounce out here. But again, just a little over 1.1 billion shares in the NASDAQ, so not much there. Not even 1.6 billion shares in the NYSE. So that's not what you want to see. You want to see the market kind of go down with lighter volume into these 3 days if you're bullish. We'll be back.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we got a couple of tech stocks after the bell tonight reporting earnings. We'll talk about that in a second. there's some other stuff going on. I want to look at Apple. Apple is now getting involved in the bid for the old Toshiba memory units. There's been a fight going on already between the folks at Western Digital and a handful of buyout firms. Apple is actually getting in on the side of the buyout firms. So you do have yet another high today. 19.4 million shares compared to 29.5 million shares yesterday. So you're going to probably come in 5 million shares light, I'm thinking, today compared to yesterday's move. Does this really have anything to do with that? Probably not. I think what you really want to do is look at Western Digital. I think whoever ends up with Toshiba's memory unit probably not going to wish that they did. Apple's discussion to do that may be a little bit of kabuki theater, i.e. they're trying to put pressure on Samsung for memory prices, because Samsung's the only one that can deliver the kind of quantities that Apple needs for these phones going forward. Maybe they feel like they've been kind of put in a little bit of pressure by Samsung, that they can't beat them up for better pricing. We've seen Apple be rather aggressive in trying to beat up Qualcomm not having any of it. I can't imagine that Apple's trying to is any better with any of its other suppliers, so maybe we could see the same thing. We got up to 92.14 on Western Digital. Not really reacting to the news today. I would think that if Apple really had a shot at buying Toshiba, we probably would have seen Western Digital crater a great deal more. The question is whether all of these guys just get together and decide to create their own memory division so that they can have an unlimited supply, which is what this is all about. Western Digital wants an unrestricted supply of memory so that they can move to SSDs instead of spinning hard drives. They know that their future is numbered. The thing is that Toshiba's kind of cut its R&D for the last few years. It's way behind now. I don't know if they think they can just license technology from Micron and Intel or others to make their products. Maybe they think that's the solution. But in any event, none of these guys are looking all that great right now. Western Digital did come up, fill its gap, kind of pull back here, a little lighter volume today. You would think that there would probably a little bit more downside if that deal with Apple and Bain Capital to buy out Toshiba's memory unit was going a little farther. So I don't see much in that. After the bell tonight, we've got Workday. Again, I can't sing the praises of the staff. They are probably the best of a recent IPO that you can find. This one is kind of going up into that earnings tonight. So I don't know if you can say anything, but it's kind of pre-run. They're hanging way out over the tips of their skis on this if they do not come in with the earnings. That one will probably be the biggest mover, I suspect, after the bell. 5 below the, what is it? It's the, it's like the dollar store, except everything's $5. So I don't know what you could say about it other than that. This one, more in one of these lower highs, higher lows kind of thing, kind of stuck sideways. Hard to tell. I drive by their store. They sometimes have traffic. They sometimes don't. Seems like the dollar store right next to it has a lot more traffic, but I don't know if you can make anything from that anecdotal stuff. Certainly nothing in the chart. Box, another IPO of the last few years, just right in the middle of its trading range. This thing's not saying a whole lot other than it did dip a little lower. It's kind of gone a little higher into the end of the day. That one could have some good movement too, but it's a little tougher to see. CTRP, which is C-Trip, the Chinese internet issue. Now, this thing came down with a huge energy off the July 27th high down to the $49 level. on August 18th. It's bounced a little bit and it's up off those lows. Support comes in at 48 bucks to the upside is about 57 bucks. But again, with these Chinese companies, you got no news, so you don't know anything more than you knew really in the last quarter. And man, what else do we have out here? Just looking to see if there's anything we get in tomorrow. Now in the morning, we go to Dollar General. So we'll take a look at that. Now this one did retest these highs with about the same amount of volume and sold off hard. Of course, on the North Korean news, that was, or was it some other news? That was on the 24th. Came down on 5 million shares. It's just gone sideways since then. Maybe everybody decided to short it. CEIN, another one for the morning. CIEN, he said. CIEN, yeah. Come on. Sienna. There we go. Take a quick look at this one. Little bounce after a fairly hard move down. Let's take a little closer look at this. See if there's anything. So you came down 1.87 billion shares on August 21st, up with a little pop. Well, you got 2310 as support, 2692 as resistance. See, you may have a little better risk reward on that one, but I wouldn't bite either way. To after the bell tomorrow night. What else do we have? Okay, Lulu. That one's always seems to be interesting these days. Now, this one gapped up on earnings on the 29th of June, did so on 6.7 million shares. Last time he came down here was August 18th, 1.7 million shares, 59.61. To that today with more volume, 3.2 million shares. So this thing is kind of starting to sell off a little bit in front of it, but you're at fairly decent support here at about $57. Also after the bell tomorrow night is Palo Alto Networks, the network security company. Now this one, of course, had a nice pop on earnings on the 1st of June. Did so with 15.1 million shares. Came back to it the first time on 800,000, but you came the second time, 1.2 million shares, and that was yesterday. You get a little bounce out of this thing. People are still fairly nervous. I don't think you can play this before going into earnings. If this thing could get back down to about 122 on light volume, that may be the low out here that you could get some decent risk reward in trying along on that one. We'll be back and look at Amberilla when we come back.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
If you're looking to open your portfolio to a world of opportunity, consider the new market-safe emerging currency CD from Everbank. This 3-year U.S. dollar-denominated CD gives you exposure to 5 equally weighted currencies from Brazil, China, India, Indonesia, and Turkey at a time when experts see great potential for global growth. Even better, it features a 7.0 leverage factor, which means you could earn a potential market upside payment of 7 times the CD's performance at maturity with no cap if the currencies increase in value over the CD's term. And should the opposite occur, your principal is 100% protected. Keep in mind, returns are based on CD performance. There is no annual percentage yield or periodic rate of interest on this index CD. Don't miss out. The September 28th funding deadline will be here before you know it. So call 1-855-750-4051 or visit everbank.com/TFNN for the CD's term sheet and other important product details and disclosures. This advertisement is sponsored content. Everbank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profile So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And somebody brought up in the den before we get a little farther down the road that the snap lockup was today. Now, this is something I've seen before, and that is many people pass around incorrect lockup dates on IPOs like Snap. And I wonder if it's not self-serving, if they're not just bozos. But if you do want to check out the lockup expiration and know exactly when the true date is, there's one place that you can go. And that's if it's a NASDAQ stock, go to NASDAQ.com. And best thing is just to Google lockup date NASDAQ and then the symbol for the stock, and it'll pop right up. But, who was it in the den out here? Terry. Bringing up that today the Snap IPO lockup is over and out of here. So anyway, we were talking about Palo Alto. There's a handful of other stock. Oh, we were going to go look at Ambarella, AMBA. But I wouldn't, it's not the first time I've seen the wrong dates a lot of places, and I always wonder why they're. Since I've seen that so often, if that's not just people trying to manipulate the market and people that don't, double check those things. Normally, you don't have to double check all that stuff, but that lockup date seems to be one that they have a little bit of economy with the truth, especially on some of the websites that talk about stocks. Anyway, Amber down on heavy volume, and that goes back to the 7th of June. It came down on 8.4 million shares. We're back up into this with about 700,000 shares, 800,000 shares, 300,000 shares today. Well, this one does report after the bell tomorrow night. And, of course, this is the supplier to GoPro. We'll take a look at that one and others. They do sell their chips to others. GoPro bounced on its earnings date back on the 4th of August. It's been basically coming down ever since. I don't know if you can draw a great deal from this other than the fact that that's got to be a tough market to be in. There's going to be more people building those chips. So Ambarella probably still has a lot of wind in its face and not in its sails. See if there's anything else out here tomorrow in the next couple of days. Don't really say so. No earnings on Friday. When we get back on Tuesday, Really nothing going on. I think it's Wednesday. We get into a few stocks, but nothing that's going to move the market pre-market after the bell. Is there anything next week that's going to move this market? As we said on Thursday, before the bell at 8:30, Draghi's coming out with some kind of announcement that may move the market. Normally he comes out with it at 8:30 and then talks about it at 8:45. So you have some indigestion in the market, pre-market, come next Thursday. See if there's anything else. I don't see a thing. Hovenia, maybe the only thing. Give you a little bit of a read on the housing. That's on Thursday before the bell. And let's see what we have after the bell. Thursday after the bell, Finistar. I don't think that's going to move the market. Maybe the only one I've heard of before. Friday of next week, we'll get Kroger. So we're kind of at the down side of earnings. Not a lot to move the market. Draghi on Thursday next week. Low volumes, slightly higher all the way probably through this week. But slightly higher may mean 5 points. Probably going to hit pretty hard resistance at 24.65 on the S&P cash. So you're basically looking for, hopefully, for another 7 points. But, that could be, this could be it today. We don't even have 1.7 million shares so far. So let's take a look at some others that we wanted to take a look at. Wanted to see how GFI did. I was watching its shares this morning and looking at the chart. It had retested its previous high yesterday of August 21st at 450 that had 8.5 million shares. Got into it light with 5.63 million shares. Did not hold the high yesterday, closed back into the trading range on Goldfields. It's down a little bit more today, but pretty light volume, 2.3 million shares. So we can't do much on that. Let's take a look at the energy ETFs real quick and just see. Now we've been looking to see whether or not there's any chance these things are bottoming out, and haven't really seen a whole lot. Oil sector, the OIH, pretty much gone sideways. I imagine we're going to see the same thing in the rest of them. A little bounce out here, but not much. Fairly light volume, but I kind of like that. See UNG real quick. See on natural gas. Again, just not much happening out here. Light volume doji on it, but you're at the seasonal lows in natural gas, so you don't have a lot of downside. Doesn't mean you have any upside. More questions coming in the email. Can you look at the IWM? We will do that. Who was asking for that? Okay. Glenn. Okay, again, you're coming up on fairly light volume. What you want to be looking at now is, of course, the retracement levels. You're basically just up to the 3.8 today in the IWM off this bounce. 139.18 is the 50% move. Could we get there by close of Friday? I think you can. But you were really in this huge down day that had 41 million shares going back to the 10th of August. And we're doing 11 million shares. So you're probably somewhere in the area that if you're feeling very bearish, that you might want to pull the trigger. But I suspect you're much better off pulling that trigger. And don't pull your friend's finger. And don't pull the trigger on this one either. The results will probably be the same. 139.18. Could we see a little bounce come Tuesday and Wednesday? I think you can. Again, fun buying. You got a couple of days, and then we can see whether or not we get any juice when we come back in September. During this conversation, I don't know if it's on yet. Normally, I've just turned it off because I don't want anybody doing anything. But we've got the president getting ready to talk about the tax policies. But my guess is that it won't be what he has to say. because there won't be any details in it. We've already heard from the Speaker of the House, Ryan, that all the details and gory mess are going to be hidden behind the curtain. And that stuff is going to come out as they negotiate the bill in Congress and write all the dirty little details into the tax policy. So even if he comes out today, it's going to be a lot of rah-rah. I don't think it changes or there's enough specifics out here to get anybody thinking that it's either going to pass or fail. It's going to be a lot more when Congress comes back. So it's going to be kind of a quiet week starting when we come back with fun buying. Be back in a second.
Tom O'Brien has just announced that he'll be coming to Boston September 30th for a free workshop, The Art of Timing the Trade. Join Tom O'Brien Saturday morning, September 30th at the Boston Marriott in Burlington, Massachusetts, as he breaks down his trading methodology and provides you with the tools to become a more successful and profitable trader. Everyone that attends in person will receive a free signed copy of Tom's best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System. Daryl Martin from Apex Investing Institute will also be presenting for 90 minutes at this free event.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. Join me in Boston on September 30th as I return to God's country for a workshop about the art of timing the trade. I look forward to seeing all the tigers and tigresses for the special free event.
All action starts early at 7:30 a.m. with a continental breakfast and wraps up at about 1 p.m. Topics that Tom will be covering during his presentation include quality volume, cause and effect, ABC structures, swing points, and much, much more. For all the information on this free Boston event taking place Saturday, September 30th, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of The Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. Come join me next hour as we bisect and dissect these markets. Right here on TFNN. Wow!
And we got a few more to look at. Just a couple of minutes. Probably too late to give me a call. Again, I'll be out of here tomorrow and Friday. Also Tuesday. Be back. See you on Wednesday. So if you call for me, I won't be here. Just let you know. Anyway, we're going to look at a few more stocks just before we go, if we get a chance. Wanted to look at a handful of these. COP on this one. Again, a lot of these things are just, they're down. You got a little bounce out of this one, I think, finally, because it looks like the water's going to recede in Houston. So you got a little pop in some of these, maybe just a little bit in the market. Could we be making a low any day now, maybe in the crude market? Hard to say. I don't see anything compelling in these. I do see a lot more compelling in other parts of the market. One quick request is to look at Microsoft. Do I see anything in it from the news that we talked about at the beginning of the show? No, other than it had a nice little pop out here today, 9.5 million shares. But again, your previous highs are up to 42 million shares in this range. So again, up on very light volume. Again, probably not going to see a lot of people on Wall Street. They're all off to the Hamptons already, I suspect. And they probably won't be back till Tuesday afternoon at the earliest, maybe Wednesday morning. So I think you can probably look for maybe a little consolidation on Tuesday, and then the fun buying probably really hitting on Wednesday and Thursday. By then, maybe you get into Friday, maybe there's an opportunity to pull the ripcord short if we continue up on this ridiculously light volume. Other than that, I'm going to have a great time sailing. Hope you all have a great and wonderful long weekend. Well deserved. And then we'll get back here with our batteries recharged and ready to go for a big fall in the stock market. In the meantime, sell when you can, not when you have to. And we'll see you here Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.